All right, sisters and brothers. I'm Lynn Dodson, Secretary-Treasurer of the Washington State Labor Council, AFL-CIO. A lot of the nation right now is focused on Wisconsin. And while we've heard from our legislators that we are not Wisconsin, that's setting the bar a little bit too low. We have a democratically controlled House, Senate, and Governor's office. And still attacks on public sector workers are happening in our state too. I'd like to welcome Terri Mast from the Inland Boatmen's Union. She's a National Secretary-Treasurer of the Marine Division. After she speaks, Greg Parker, President of the Washington Public Employees Association, and then Carol Dolick, President of the Washington Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. They're joining us today to talk about attacks on public servants right here in our state. Give it up, Terri Mast.
Thank you. You know, all week we've been commemorating the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I must tell you, there couldn't be a better way to end the week than to see all of you here today. And Labor is here to affirm our commitment to continue the work of Dr. King for justice and equality for all workers. Brothers and sisters, we also gather here today to show our solidarity for the workers in Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida, and all the other states where public employees are being scapegoated for the budget crisis. And right here in Washington State, we have similar legislation that has been introduced not by the Republicans, but by the Democrats. These bills would have gutted our union contracts, and though we opened our contracts and have taken concessions to save the state over $10 million this year, it's not enough. For some, Senator Mary Margaret Haugen continues to push bills that would strip collective bargaining rights away from the MMP captains and the MEBA chief engineers. While other bills take away our right to arbitrate our grievances and take us out of the Marine Employees Commission, which is where our grievances and disputes are heard. The MEC was won in a strike back in 1980, where also the ILWU shut down the port so we could win that. Taking us out of the MEC is not going to save the state budget. So you have to ask yourself, why the attack? We need your help to beat back this legislation, so please call your legislators and tell them not to support SB 5742 or SB 1516. We have flyers, so you can have the information. Brothers and sisters, this war on public employees is about all of us. Students, private sector, public sector. We all have to be together to fight back. The real cause of the budget deficit is the recession brought on by the greed and deregulation of Wall Street and the anti-union politicians that have been cutting taxes for corporations and the super rich. And let's not forget about the 2 wars that we're engaged in, draining our resources.
Yeah.
We can't continue to elect representatives who take our money and then stab us in the back when we need them. We can't trust them to protect us. Martin Luther King said, in the end, we will remember the words of our enemies. We will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. So my friends, today I ask you, in the spirit of Martin Luther King, are you ready to stand up for the workers in Wisconsin? And are you ready to stand up for the ferry workers in Washington State? And are you ready to continue the dream to make Martin Luther King's dream a reality? I thought so, because in labor we have a saying, an injury to one is an injury to all. Let's work together.